Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast.
It is August 31st, the last day of the month.
The last day of the month. September tomorrow.
Oh. Do I need to do anything today? No.
I work.
Well, I mean, like, I do things today, but anything monthly? No. You work tomorrow?
I work Saturday and Sunday. Anywho, what have you been playing, Tony?
I've been playing a lot of things, actually. Just a lot of... I'm actually trying to finish Sleeping Dogs before school starts. Just because I know I can. Once I really get into it, I should be able to. And I've been spending a lot of time with the side missions, getting the upgrades, so I can just bullet through the missions real quick, because those upgrades really help a lot. So that's still on my list of priorities. I have been testing out the Vita, actually, because 1.8 came out for the firmware, and that's the one which enables the PlayStation 1 classics. And if you've been keeping track of it, they released a set of games that you can play.
Yep.
Which is 9 games on this. Okay, and day one they announced 9 games for the U.S. store and 100 games for the European store. But they've since looked at that and said, hey, what the heck? We should probably put more games on the U.S. store. So I think there's like 20 or 25 games now.
Wow, you're catching up fast to them Europeans.
But that's fine though, because if you're technologically savvy, any game you buy off the PlayStation Store that's a PS1 classic, you can play on the Vita. Like, I don't know why they gave you that list, because I was playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night last night, and that's not on any list. I think Silent Hill is, but I haven't put that on yet. I just finished downloading Chrono Cross, which is that's kind of the biggest reason for me to play my PS1 classics. Because it's the awesomest RPG in the world. So it's an interesting emulation that they're going with. It's a combination of Vita and PS1 emulation.
Nah. That was my 9 o'clock alarm.
Oh.
I have a lot of alarms.
I only have like 3.
I have lots because I have to wake up at so many different times. There. All off.
So the way that the emulation works is through the PSP emulation, which is emulating PS1 games.
Right.
So it is not a Vita emulation of the PS1 games. They're going through the PSP software that's on the Vita.
Wow.
It's a little bit contrived. I don't understand why they're doing it that way. I mean, it works for whatever reason, but
it's a lot. It seems like
it's a lot of work to get it to work. I mean, it's
probably less work for them.
Yeah, because it just seemed from our end of things, it just kind of odd, because you have to redevelop the engine, and if you're going to be doing that, you might as well be doing the PS2 stuff while you're at it, which I imagine that's probably in the pipeline somewhere for PS2 games.
That'd be cool.
I'd be excited, because then I could get Psychonauts on my Vita.
Kingdom Hearts.
That's not on the store.
They would throw it on the store.
Are you kidding me? Birth by Sleep's not on the store yet. I'd totally get that game again. That was totally worth it.
So it's okay. Skyrim still doesn't have DLC on the PS3. So.
They're not even gonna work on it apparently. They are, but they're like shit.
Oh, we forgot about. Oh.
Here's your PC one.
Now I do have to say, with the Skyrim thing, they did say that DLC was coming to the Xbox first.
That's fine, yeah.
So it's been known that if you wanted DLC first, you bought it for the Xbox.
But I think that's sort of the going thing now for games with exclusive DLC. It's always on Xbox first.
Yeah.
Or not even on Xbox at all.
Yes.
Because PS3
all or nothing.
PS3 has its own exclusive DLC.
Yeah.
But if multi-platform DLC, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never had to use that phrase before.
Multi-platform DLC comes to the PlayStation or the Xbox first.
Yeah. So that's all I've been really doing. I played Gears of War 3 for about 20 minutes, and like you, when you played Silent Hill, I fell asleep.
There you go.
Guys, they made a Gears of War game. You have football armor.
I'm intrigued. I saw some stuff from the next one coming out.
Judgment?
Whatever, yeah, I forgot what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But multiplayers, they have a mode that's class-based.
Like Team Fortress 2?
Yeah, but Gears of War. Flavored. So, and I mean, they've obviously done things a little bit differently. So, like, the medic actually has, like, a healing grenade.
That's not that's not original, though.
I know, but
you see that in other sort of class-based FPS games.
It's different for Gears of War.
I hadn't finished. Obviously, I didn't finish Gears of War 3. I played, 20-30 minutes and then fell asleep. But I found it really odd, because I did play Gears of War 2.
Yeah.
I played with my buddy whenever I had Xbox Live. I did have Xbox Live for, like, a year. Whoa. I know. And I didn't even use it. So, I played that with him. I think they changed the voice actor for, is it not Dom? The black guy? The brown guy? I think they changed the voice actor because after the events of Gears of War 2, he's been way more mellow. Just because his wife died, blah, 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 blah. Yep. No one cares about the Gears of War storyline. Yeah. They're trying to make it a lot more personal from my experience, is because I think Phoenix's dad has a lot to do with whatever the Locust invasion is.
Oh.
So they're trying to be like, "Oh, where are you, Dad? You're still alive, blah, 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 I need to find you." And then he's kind of following the cookie crumb trails of what his dad left behind.
Woo!
And you run real fast when you duck your head down.
Yep.
And you shoot, and you do the reloading mini game.
Yay!
And it's Gears of War.
Woohoo!
I couldn't handle it. It was just too boring. And then I borrowed Spider-Man again. But I didn't even put it in because I was like, Sleeping Dogs. Must finish Sleeping Dogs. Such a good game. Yeah, that's it. I've been pretty thin this week, and not a lot of. I tried playing World of Warcraft with their new things, which we'll talk about later, but I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
That's why I'm here.
So I'm like, Guild Wars 2. Please help me. I might get Guild Wars 2, so just because you buy it and that's it.
Yeah, you can just hang on to it or whatever.
Yeah,
That's why I bought the first Guild Wars, and then I didn't really play it. So
you might enjoy Guild Wars 2.
I might.
So they'll probably do a starter edition or something.
And it's
the first 10 levels or 15 levels. Or
and then I always wait for those now when it comes to MMOs. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Have you been dabbling in video games?
Tried some inversion.
It's like Gears of War, but inversioning.
I'd never inverted, so.
You really? How long did you play?
Actually, okay, you invert right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do this whole, your character's getting tortured by these...
Abilities?
Well, no, he's getting tortured by these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of like a tribe that has come out of this whole disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to take out, like he's being tortured by these people, and he's thinking back on the whole, like how did this all start, blah, 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 blah. And you're going, oi, oi, oi.
Oh.
Worst exposition ever. And then, and so you do get a part where you're running forward with like this crazy looking gun and, you know, some armor, and all of a sudden it goes, and you end up on the side of a building.
Now, do you control that?
I assume at some point in the game you do.
Okay.
But in this part it just, except anything that's loose on the field, because I think the way this one worked was everything that was here as cover, just fell onto the building in the exact same position. So nothing changed. We were just now on the side of a building shooting things. Did
it feel like you were on the side of a building shooting things? Like was
it
pieces
felt
of your
like
clothing like dangling or anything like
not
that?
Not
not even like Gravity Days or anything?
Well, no, because your armor's all like you don't have clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
wow.
Like your hair's cut short. Like they make sure that they did not have to put any kind of work into
gravity work.
Yeah.
Physics.
And then when you shot people, I didn't even notice if they fell sideways. So I'm assuming they didn't. but that scene lasted this long anyways.
Oh, good.
And then you go back to you being tortured. And you go back to then the first day where you're walking out of the... Because you're a police officer. So you're walking out with your partner and he's being, you know, misogynistic and sexist and all that fun stuff. And you're like, dude, I gotta go see my wife. No particular reason. Just because. I think it's your anniversary and you're working that night, so you're going to see her. Oh. And then the world starts going topsy-turvy crazy. And you essentially Gears of War your way up to her.
Gears of War your way up to her.
And
is that a new adjective?
Yeah. You duck your head and you run really fast until you get to more cover. And
so like Gears of War.
Yeah. And yeah, like I think it's Gears of War until you get to invert stuff. And from what I've read, you don't get to invert stuff till about halfway through the game.
I was watching some guy play it for half an hour, or some guys playing it, and I'm like, okay, I'll see what this inversion game is all about. And literally, their 45-minute preview quick look thing.
Yeah.
Not even a single.
No.
Gravity related incident.
You see stuff happening. Your partner walks up and there's a floating, pop can or something. So he boots the pop can out of the way and he makes his gun float for a second in this little gravity vacuum type thing that's just sitting, and he's like, whoa, and you're both like, whoa. Wait, my wife could be dying.
That's...
And then she is dying. You get up and your wife dies. And she's like, they took our daughter, and the... And you're like,
that's melted.
No! And then you run off.
I don't feel any connection to
There was no connection. I was... Well, and your characters look like idiots. They do. They
from what I've seen...
They look like blockheads.
From what I've seen, it's like a cross between the Modern Warfare stuff and Gears of War.
Yeah. And like I said, apparently once you get to the actual inversion stuff, the game gets a little bit more interesting. But you gotta get me there.
Half the game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but...
For a game with a premise of using gravity to shoot dudes...
And you don't get to for 4 hours. Why am I playing?
Gravity Rush. When you got to use your gravity powers in that? 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes in.
Well, that's what I mean. That's the whole... If you're going to have a gimmick in your game...
Make sure it's in there.
Make sure you get to use it.
It's like playing Guitar Hero and going oh, you want to use a guitar controller? Hold on, let me show you this cutscene for 30 minutes first.
Yeah. I tried Persona 4 Arena just because I could, because there was no one in line.
It's so crazy.
The story mode, if you do not play those Persona games, holy God.
I was even lost because I didn't play Persona 4.
Well, but long.
Well, the problem, because I played it as well.
Yeah.
My problem with the Persona 4 Arena is that they have a block of text that you have to read.
Yep.
And then actual dialogue, which is cool.
Yeah.
But then goes back to the
block.
reading.
Yes.
But if you play the Persona games, they're all voiced.
Yeah.
So my concern was where did you guys drop the ball in the voice acting? You guys could have totally done all this.
Well, so then I finally get to the first fight after, 20 minutes?
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Really free.
Oh.
Yeah. I literally skipped all of it.
I was just...
No, I hit the button.
Oh, yeah. And, get to the fight, one fight, and back to the story, and I'm like, and off.
I'm a fan of the Persona games, but that was really weird. For me.
Well, see, and that's what I wasn't sure, because I'm sitting there going, maybe Persona people are used to, a lot of...
Persona people are not used to fighting games.
Not the fighting part, but just the story, the long story part.
And
action
happens. The difference, and the biggest difference is the fact that nothing in there is voiced, except for 4 lines in between.
Anything that he says is voiced. Anything that he thinks is not. Yeah. So it's they recorded the voice thing, and they're
monologues are different.
Yeah, they're maybe we should add an inner monologue. Crap! All the voice actors are busy. Let's just throw it in as text.
And you know what the funny part is? This is the first time... Actually, I don't know if the Persona 4 anime came out here or not. But this would be the first time locally that people could experience the hero with a voice actor. Mm. Because Persona 4 and all the Persona games, strong silent protagonists.
Mm.
So, a little unique for people.
The fighting part.
The fighting is different.
Yep.
It's very different. Like the game rewards you for doing weird things, but then if you're trying to be all defensive, you get negative influences on your ability. So like walking back for like 30 seconds drops your defense, and then more drops your health.
Yeah.
It's different.
If you button mash, folks, good game.
You can. What's that one button? The one easy combo button?
Yeah, I forgot what that one was.
You press one button and just do like a bread and butter into a super.
If you press them all, you pull off some pretty good looking stuff and you win. So
yeah,
like that's what I mean. I'm sitting there going.
It's a button that it's the Guilty Gear engine. So the not Guilty Gear, the BlazBlue engine.
Oh, okay.
So it's the if you know that system well, you can still pull off some pretty shiny stuff. But I like how they put in the Persona stuff into the system.
Okay.
Because in the Persona 4 games, you can summon Personas, which is like your summons, and they give you special abilities. But
and this is kind of your special moves. Yeah. Yeah. Your Persona comes out.
I like the complete transition into the fighting game from the Persona stuff.
Yep.
Because they added in all of the sort of the elements of the RPG into it. So, like, the stuff like one more, that's when you hit the person's, like, weakness or something like that. Or the all-out attack, which is actually my favorite move in the RPGs.
That's what I mean, like, it felt kind of RPG, except then all of a sudden fighting, except not fighting fast enough.
I'm really surprised there was no mode where you could level up your character.
Yeah. Get some new moves, get some new this,
or just build better equipment and stuff like that.
Then I played some Ghost Recon, Future Soldier.
With your connecting?
My connecting.
But that's not...
That's just for practice shooting.
That's disappointing.
Because you can't play the rest of the game. I'm not sure if there's voice command. Like, there's a Connect tutorial for the game that I'm like, I don't need this. I watched E3.
So you can move in this mode too, right?
Nope.
No? Oh, so it's just shooting.
It was just shooting.
Because I remember watching him, like, move around too.
So, well, I mean, and you can build when you go to your gun building thing. Mm-hmm. You can do the whole, like...
Do the 9mm report? Yeah. So you can actually, like, grab something and then pull it down?
Yes.
That's pretty neat.
That part's kind of cool.
Is it worth $110?
Connect? No. If you have a Connect, it's cool to have that feature. Like, it's just a neat gimmick where your friends can come over.
Guys, look at what I can do with this gun.
Yep. So, because otherwise, like, the game involves a lot of, you know, running and shooting.
Stealthing.
And yeah, you have to be kind of stealthy.
Yeah.
So a Connect, if you were doing the blocky, like, Connect, trying to get it to move.
And the game will lose you from the sensor will lose
you. Oh yeah, you're hooped. So, I can see why it's not in the actual gameplay. It would have been cool if they would have done like a little rail shooter maybe inside the game.
A mini game.
Yeah. Just like a mini rail shooter, target practice, so you're on rails, but you can still...
Is there leaderboards for at least for the shooting stuff when you can use the Connect?
It's just, it's literally target practice. So you build your gun.
Yeah.
And then you go like this. And you go into target practice. And then you can practice with your gun. Which is stupid because you'll be playing the game with your controller. Mm-hmm. So practicing with like this is completely stupid because you don't know exactly how it will handle on your controller.
So fondling the air is not the greatest.
No. And yes, you really do look like you're... and this is... And because you burst fire. If you just wanted to like let your machine gun go...
So does the Kinect sensor pick up your fingers or no?
It must.
Because I always thought this Kinect sensor doesn't.
It must know that you open your hand up at least.
Okay.
Because I'd wiggle my fist, nothing. So you have to like...
I think it's... You can either do this or this.
This does not work. I tried this. Yeah. So, and yeah, at one point I'm just like... Like, that would make for a pretty good X-Men game.
For a really good Star Wars game.
They tried that.
Yeah.
That didn't work. There's a Harry Potter one coming out, though.
There's a Harry Potter everything coming out.
Harry Potter Connect, so...
Yeah, Nothing about that right now.
No, I'm intrigued by the thought of it though. So.
Flipendo. Fantasia 2000 game.
I'm surprised they haven't come out with a composing game yet.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo did that one that.
Mad Maestro.
Well, no, that was on Wii Music or whatever.
Yeah, Wii.
That wasn't really a game. It was more of just an app.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that like they haven't tried to come up with like rock band classical music or something like that. Yeah.
And they have your little whatever the orchestra behind you or in front of you or whatever.
Because you could totally pull something like that off.
And then you turn around and then you bow to the audience.
Yeah. So, and other than that, World of Warcraft, but we'll talk about that later. And also, folks, I have figured out that if you want to go to sleep, watch Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, because I have since moved on to like Time Force, but the Lightspeed guys came on for like a couple episodes because they like doing those crossovers. I fell asleep again. I haven't fallen asleep all through Time Force. Lightspeed comes back, Nick's out. Thankfully, though, I missed those episodes and finished Time Force last night. So now I'm on to Wild Force.
How many forces? All the force?
There's no Pink Ranger in Wild Force. First season without a Pink Ranger. Red.
I don't know. Black. Blue.
Black. No.
No blue?
No, there's blue. Blue's the shark. That's right.
It's like how does shark Pokemon work in that? How does a shark droid work on it?
Well, and this one's bugging me because this is the first one that Disney took over. So all the Zords at this point, because they haven't actually made like the Megazord, but all the Zords are digital.
Oh.
And it's driving me bonkers.
Oh, well, that's...
Because before, even when they had like animal beast people, it was literally people in costumes.
Oh.
Like it was a guy on all fours walking around in a costume. And it made me giggle so much. And it didn't look horrible. It just made me laugh.
Well.
In retrospect, what these things look like, I'd rather have guys in cat costumes than...
But they look like junk.
These look like junk. Well, it's CGI on TV, and on top of that, kids' TV.
And, like, early CGI, too. Not even, like... Because this is, like, what, like 2000s-ish?
This is 2002. So,
yeah, so...
the CGI is not... If you think about it in 2002, it's not bad. But the whole... Like, I don't know what happened with all of the stuff that they got from Japan or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They stopped, I guess, for a little bit.
I guess so. I'm not sure. And like I said, once the Megazords come back in, I guess I'll see.
We'll find out.
Well, what happens, because, I mean, that's when you really get a guy in a big robot costume. So.
Or CG.
Yeah, or it could be CG again. But the monsters weren't in this one. Like, they made the monsters grow, and then they're like, oh no, get our Zords together. Like, the brand new guy who, like, 4 of them have been Power Rangers, apparently, for a while. And they're like, we need a 5th Ranger. So this random jungle boy comes to America.
Oh, well, that's good.
And they're like, him! He shall be the new Ranger. So they kidnap him. And they force him to morph. And now he's the new Red Ranger.
You're the leader.
Yeah.
Huh?
So he's their new leader.
Quay?
Yeah.
Do you speak English? Quay?
But his Zord talks to him because they're like kind of beast Zords.
Oh.
So his Zord's like, you have to combine all your... The thing never talks to him. Like, you never hear the voice.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, my Zord is telling, or my beast is telling me that we have to combine our weapons to make something more powerful. And they're all like, we can do that? And it's like, how long have you guys been Power Rangers? Because this is kind of sick that you didn't know that you could combine weapons. The only thing I'm really...
The fact that they would already know, because how many Power Rangers existed?
This is this is like the 9th... This is season 10. So there have at least been 8 teams before them.
So, like, if they didn't know,
yeah,
I think people around them would have known.
Yeah. Unless no one, like, unless these Power Rangers just never talk. You think there'd be a guidebook by now?
A primer for being a Power Ranger?
Well, and at this point, humans can actually create Power Rangers and Zords. Like, that's what Lightspeed Rescue was humans created everything. So, yeah, there should be a manual that comes with a Morpher by now.
Some sort of Zord primer book.
The only thing I'm really excited for, because this is season 10, is this is the one where they get all the Red Rangers back. For one episode. So, Forever Red, whenever I get there, it's going to be...
Maybe I'll just watch that episode.
Yeah, it's Wild Force, and I don't know what episode it is, but it's called Forever Red.
It'll say on Netflix. It'll say.
So, I'm excited for that episode. Otherwise, I think this is going to be another Lightspeed Rescue season, because the actors are great. The Time Force actors were not bad, and the fact that they were not teenagers, they were actually older, Well, because they were police officers in the future.
Oh.
So like they were all adults trying to like get jobs and yada 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 when they came back to the past.
And now they're Power Rangers.
And then while they became they had to be Power Rangers, but to actually be able to eat, they had to work. So it wasn't like all these.
Wouldn't that mess up the space-time continuum?
Yeah, it did. They went through that.
Oh, okay.
They actually like that's what I mean. Time Force. They're actually like, if we change too much back here, it'll change the future. And I'm like, you're just saying that. And then all of a sudden they had like an episode where the repercussions of whatever they were doing back in time was affecting the future, and it's like, oh dear.
Time paradox.
But at least they like handle. I know, and yes, there's tons of paradox. Like you're sitting there going.
Time paradox.
Because the entire reason they went back in time was because this one guy died. Well, them going back in time made it so he didn't die.
That's called the time paradox.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But he came back and he was a total douche.
Oh, well, that sounds about right.
So, he kind of got to be a little bit douchier, apparently, when they changed time and saved his life. All of a sudden, he became a douchebag. So, he was kind of a douchebag before, but he was a lovable douchebag. Mm-hmm. Then he came back in time to, like, help them, and he's like, Red Ranger, give me your Morpher. It's mine, not yours. They're like, oh, but, oh. And then he almost got them all killed.
Oh, that sounds about right.
So then the other guy comes back and takes his Morpher back, and he's all like, I'm leading the team now. And then they won.
Good always wins.
So douchebag went back to the future.
You make it sound amazing.
I didn't mind Time Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Time Force is sandwiched in between so far 2 really bad seasons of Power Rangers. But that's okay. I'll make it through.
I haven't really watched a lot of things on Netflix. People keep telling me to watch IT Crowd.
It's a good one.
So
I can't take a lot of IT Crowd at once.
It's one of those.
It's kind of it's almost this. It's one of those sitcoms.
Oh, where the episode like Big Bang Theory,
where you can watch one
and then kind of make an episode.
Yeah, like one episode is pretty much the same as every other episode, with just some different jokes in there.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times it's the same joke. He picks up his phone, and you turn it on, turn it off again, and then he just like hangs the phone up.
I'll keep my eye on that one.
Like watch a couple, they're funny. And the 2 guys together are really good. And there's the one chick who knows nothing about computers, who's their boss. So.
Oh, so like Penny.
Yeah.
Penny of the show.
That's right. Like it's a British version, like kind of Big Bang. And of course before Big Bang.
So Little Britain.
Yeah.
Oh, Little Britain.
So.
Shall we?
Sure. Hold on.
Oh.
Well,
we'll see.
We might as well.
Pause.
Yeah. We'll pause. I'll go move.
Hold on. Pause.
That doesn't work. Connect. Pause.
Xbox. Pause. What was the command?
Newsing?
What break?
What break? I don't know what you're talking about. There was definitely not a really big cut right there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. News?
Yes.
News.
News.
Starting off, Phoenix Wright.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
some iOS stuff.
Yes. Some iOS stuff.
A handful of new iOS announcements.
So, Phoenix Wright trilogy.
Yes.
HD-ified.
Retina display HD.
Yes, and Universal.
Cross-platform.
So, yeah, you can go with your iPad or iPhone with Phoenix Wright Trilogy HD. So the first 3 games.
So this includes Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, and
whatever the third one.
Oh, I'm gonna beat myself up because I know it. something. I know it. I have it. It's there. It's on my wall. Either way.
Either way.
It's no Apollo Justice, unfortunately,
No.
which is the sort of like the big change for the series.
That was the spin-off.
That wasn't even just a spin-off, actually. It was actually because the first 3 games that came out on the DS were actually just ports from the GBA game. Apollo Justice was actually the first actual original sequel for the series. So, kind of interested to see where they go with that. Hopefully you'll get that Apollo Justice on the iOS.
Well, I'm assuming if this trilogy does well enough, which I'm assuming it will, because the first one I think sold well enough that they obviously made the trilogy. So
it also depends on how much they sell it for. I think it's free for the first 2 chapters of the first case.
Oh, okay.
And then you can buy them from there.
Just to suck you in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if this game, and it's funny because now you're looking at a game that sold for what, $30 on the DS.
More than that, because when the game first came out in America, they made like 10 copies.
Yeah.
And then people were like, we want more, so they printed another 10 copies.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like all of a sudden you have.
Now you can buy it everywhere.
And that for a game that was $30 on your DS is now going. You're getting 3 of them
for maybe a little less than that, like $15 maybe.
So I was gonna say, if it ends up being $30 for 3 of them, you're still getting a good deal. It doesn't look like a good deal. And
these games are surprisingly long and really complicated.
Yes.
If you've played any of the Phoenix Wright games before, you'll know that there's more than meets the eye for these games. You get well worth your money's worth.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. If this game comes out for $30, it'll look like a lot on the iOS store.
Mm-hmm.
But
at least they're not pulling a Square Enix.
Well, where they charge $80 bajillion for
well, they're
like
charging
a Super Nintendo game.
Well, they're charging $20 for another iOS game that's coming out, or it's already out now.
So what's that one? Tell me.
The World Ends With You.
$20.
Which is their big long reveal last week.
Yes.
Counting down to what people thought was another The World Ends With You game.
Yeah.
Because they already had half the assets made for Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Yeah.
All the main characters were voiced, no less, for that game, fully rendered.
Yep.
Instead, we have an iPhone
port.
Not even an iPhone port, an iOS port, pretty much. And it's not even a universal app. So it is $15 on the iPhone and $20 on the iPad. So for some people, this might not be too bad, but for devout followers of this game, it was a huge disappointment just because The World Ends With You is probably Square Enix's finest game, I think, short of Kingdom Hearts. I mean most original, to say the least, even. But to make an iOS port of a game that doesn't, it's weird to have it on one screen this time around too, because the premise of the first game was that you have the 2 screens and you're playing 2 screens at the same time. It's kind of kooky, kind of difficult, but that was the catch about it. Yeah. That's why everyone loved it. It was fresh.
Well, and on an iPad and iPhone, there's no buttons.
No.
So they have to make room for.
It's all touching and all sliding.
Oh, see that's.
So there's at least they're not doing a digital D-pad in my mind.
Well, that's what I thought they'd have to do is make room for a digital D-pad and buttons and stuff. But
no, from what I've been seeing, well, because it's called The World Ends With You Solo Remix. So instead of using 2 screens, you're both. It's part of the story. It's weird how the 2 characters existed in the same world but didn't.
Right.
But this time around, they're all going to be in the same screen because you and your partner will be working together. So, as Niku, you'll be using the swiping as you did in the game or in the original DS game to do combat, and your other player will control your pins, which is your quick attacks and powers and stuff like that. So, it's a weird way to reintroduce The World Ends With You to people. I mean, if you haven't had the chance to play it, this is probably your best bet to get one. And they have already said that, this isn't it for this series. There's apparently something coming, but there's always something coming. They always have to say that.
It's Square Enix. They have 12 bajillion things in development.
Final Fantasy 13-3. So
I was just gonna, if they'd stop putting things in development, we might actually get games out of them every once in a while.
Yeah, like an actual Kingdom Hearts 3. But
Probably in development, don't you fret.
I don't know that. This is the biggest thing, Tetsuya's biggest thing since Kingdom Hearts. They're adding a whole wealth of new features that weren't in the DS version, but that's not what I go for, really.
No.
I mean, I don't know. And Square Enix isn't really good for making games cheap on the iOS store either. So
no, and especially and see, that's the thing. You're getting 3 Phoenix Wright games for probably not a ton of money.
Right.
$20 for just the iPad version.
Yes.
Of The World Ends With You.
It is. The one saving grace is that the art style in The World Ends With You is so colorful and so wild.
Oh, it'll look good.
It'll look great on a Retina display.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, it'll be cool. It'll look good,
but,
and people who have played it really like it. But those are also the people who've never even played the DS version.
Right.
So they don't even understand the weird concept that spawned this game.
Was the D-pad and the touchscreen all at the same time.
So it's.
And yeah, Square Enix is really bad for overcharging for their games.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I'm very mixed about it. I mean, I want more of this game.
Yeah.
But they just keep
Not
denying
this way.
it.
Yeah.
They just keep denying it.
Other game coming to the iPad?
Yeah, it's a amazing little indie game from
Bastion.
Supergiant Games, right?
I believe so, yes.
Something like that.
Bastion.
So, I mean, that game is seeing a release on every platform now, I think.
Pretty much.
I don't know if it's on PlayStation Store yet. But it's I have it on Google Chrome for some reason.
Yeah. Just wait for this to hit the 3DS.
Yeah. Actually, it would look...
It would look good on the 3DS.
It would look so good.
But
yeah, that's... Everything is coming to the...
To me, it's kind of hard to say how it will play on an iPad.
I don't know if they would...
But,
So, it would... I don't know if they would do the digital
yeah.
D-pad or not. I feel as if they would just do the sliding thing just because...
I think so too, but...
you could do it.
So either if you haven't played Bastion yet...
now...
you now have almost no excuse.
Yeah.
So, you already don't. You can play it in Chrome. So, do you own a computer? I hope so. You know.
Well, that's how you watch this.
Well, unless you're watching it on your iPad, in which case...
Then get your...
It's coming out for you too, so...
Everyone gets it.
Yeah.
And it will be Retina displayed, so it'll be pretty.
It'll look pretty, so there you go.
But lots of iOS games, just out of the blue.
Yeah.
So, earlier yesterday, the 25th anniversary for Metal Gear party thing happened, and Hideo Kojima finally opened his doors on all the projects that he's been working on. The first one he's been announced is he's talking about this already with the whole Metal Gear Solid 5 thing.
Yeah.
It's not Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes,
yes.
plural. So that's the Hideo twist on this title. So it looks gorgeous because it runs off the Fox engine, the one that we saw a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But there's a render of Snake, which I think it's going to be Big Boss. I could be wrong, just because it has the Peace Walker badge on his shoulder, and that was Big Boss's little thing.
I did enjoy the Splinter Cell
his
goggles.
solo goggle.
Yeah.
So that was different as well. But Hideo is saying that this new Metal Gear is not only just a tech demo, but it is going to be sort of his first forte into the stealth, open world concept.
Yes.
So you get caught sneaking, you jump into a vehicle, and you get the F out of there and then just try to hide somewhere. So instead of just running from cops, you're running from everyone who can find you.
Can I pull a helicopter out of my butt like I can in Super Smash Bros?
Yes. With an RPG. With a grenade launcher, yes. So, no word, obviously, of when this game is actually going to be done. They are saying that it is going to... the build that they showed off at the 25th anniversary party was running on the PC, but it is slated for PS3 and Xbox 360. And they're saying that Hideo's kind of developing it. He's kind of future-proofing the game itself, so they can run on other future platforms.
Well, that's what the Fox engine was supposed to be.
Yeah,
when we watched that one E3 special that one year, because Konami couldn't be there, or he couldn't be there, and that was the Fox Engine's whole thing was, it can pretty much, once you develop something on Fox Engine, you can pretty much distribute it for any system. So
I mean, he's even saying that it's going to be cloud proof too.
Nice.
But you can run it through cloud gaming.
Nice. So
I'm really excited to see, not even just Metal Gear stuff on this engine, but from what people have seen at the event, really impressed.
Grand Theft Metal Gear.
They did have a Metal Gear joke once. Remember that trailer?
No.
It was when Metal Gear Solid 3 was coming out, and it was the same time Vice City was coming out. So there's a scene in one of the trailers. It's not in the game, but it's Snake hijacking trying to hijack a motorcycle, and the guy's like, "Go back to Vice City. Go eat snakes."
Oh God.
I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But yeah, so that's the first thing that they really went through.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about the other one later.
Yep.
A new game that they're announcing is Metal Gear Solid Social Ops, which is his first forte into social gaming, which is not just I don't even know what kind of social game they're working on, but if it's a Hideo Kojima social game, it's going to be like, try and connect with people in Japan, in North America, in the same game. But it's running off what they call it as a GRE engine, which is super popular in Japan. I have no knowledge of this engine.
Is it like Street Pass?
No. No, I don't know. It looks good though. It looks like Peace Walker. Like the HD version of Peace Walker, from what they've shown off.
Yep.
So excited for when that hits later this year on your mobile devices. So that's big news. And then, of course, they announced a whole plethora of 25th anniversary merchandise, which I want all of, but don't have the money for. The big thing is that there's this giant coffee book table art book. It's 800 pages, and they're limiting it to 2,000. It's like the art of all Metal Gear, as usual, for this kind of stuff. But it's everything. 2,500 copies of this sort of limited run book, and to buy it you need to enter a raffle, and then you have a chance to buy it if you win the raffle.
Yes, then you have the option to buy it.
So
for however much money it's going to be.
I'm gonna guess many dollars.
Are you entering this raffle?
I think it's only in Japan.
Are you entering this raffle?
I need to move to Japan.
That's fine. Are you entering this raffle? I'm surprised you're not entering this raffle.
I want to enter this raffle. I want this book.
I'm going to Japan for a while, guys. Why? I need an
Metal Gear book.
Okay.
Oh, in Japan. So a lot of Metal Gear stuff that's happening this week.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see more of that stuff soon.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Sad news.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
No.
Professor Layton. He's got one more game coming out in Japan. And then that's it for...
Is this after Miracle Mask?
Yes, so the one that's already out.
We're going to be getting that one localized sometime soon this year, I think.
It's supposed to be by the end of this year.
And then whichever one, that last one is in Japan, we're going to get that eventually.
Yes. Okay. And then Professor Layton is John. And then Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. But otherwise, the Professor Layton series as a whole, Professor Layton is done. The way they worded it...
So is he passing the torch on to his little kitty friend?
So everybody's sitting there going, so are we going to get a Phoenix Wright type spin-off type thing where all of a sudden, okay, it won't be Professor Layton doing stuff, but maybe...
What's the kid's name? I can't remember.
Luke.
But
like maybe Luke might take over.
Professor Luke.
Yeah. So...
Because that happens in Apollo Justice, so maybe that's why.
So that's what I mean. So everybody's... the way they worded it doesn't say... Like, it's like, okay... Professor Layton is done.
Professor Luke is up now.
But does that mean that, like, the game series is done? Just... The game series is so popular.
It's a huge hit everywhere it sells.
So, it's kind of like... It would be dumb of them not to keep going with it. Unless they're really just running out of puzzles.
I could see that happening, actually, because...
See, in the 3DS, when they came out with the 3DS games, I think that unlocked a whole new kind of world of puzzles that they could do.
And they still haven't even done the user-created puzzles either, have they?
No, but I can't see them really going in that direction.
I mean, if you create it and submit it and then they okay it.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden that's a whole new team of people, and then
It's a whole new concept.
Yes.
So I could see that happening.
So, but yeah, I can't really see the Professor Layton brand going away.
I have no idea. I'm not.
So.
They've already. It's really hard to tell with these Japanese kind of games because they're saying that I don't know where Trials and Tribulations is right now. No, Ace Attorney Investigations 2.
Yes.
Because that's not getting localized.
No.
In English, which is a shame because Investigations was kind of unique in itself.
But maybe you'll get it on your iOS device if it's cheaper to.
They still have to localize it.
I know.
It's more the localization than anything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of text in Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton games, so it's a tough call with those.
Yeah. So.
And maybe level 5 is just busy doing like Ni no Kuni or something like that.
That's what I mean. And if they're busy doing other stuff, that's cool. And if they really just feel that this is a good time to end Professor Layton, I'm okay with that too. Like I don't like it when game series go on longer than they should, especially when it's a continuous story.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a sitcom on TV going way too long. You know, like Friends was on longer than it should have been.
2 or 3 seasons.
Frasier was on way longer than it should have been. There's a lot of shows that
Big
The
Bang.
Office is now on for longer than it should have.
It's over. It's ending. So that's good though, but
it's still too late. But everybody's always too late. Seinfeld is the only one I think that ended.
right. How many seasons did that last? Like 3 or 4?
Oh no, Seinfeld
Really?
was on for a really long time.
Oh, is it?
But
that's a different case though.
every episode was still fresh, and when it ended, everybody was like, "We don't want it to go." And even Jerry's just kind of like, "No, we're ending before people say we should end."
Mm-hmm.
So
Professor Layton is.
I'm not at that point with Professor Layton. I don't want to let go.
Yeah, but if you think about it, we still have Mask of Mystery and then whatever game that is, because it takes them God knows how many years to
Well, then
localize.
they've named the last game in Japan.
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce.
Is there a translation?
There is no translation yet, so it's just like Mihuga Buggy.
No.
So that's my best
Fake Japanese.
dialect of what it would pronounce like in English. So, along with that, another game that we play, Binding of Isaac.
Yep.
You've played it.
A little.
I've played it. Well, it runs on Flash. I'm not sure if you knew that.
I actually got to. That's the one game I got to run in VirtualBox.
VirtualBox.
I actually played Binding of Isaac.
Because it runs in Flash.
It's so easy.
Well, Flash has its limits, and so Binding of Isaac is actually coming out to consoles.
Goody.
So with that, it's getting a reboot on the PC as well.
Oh, good.
Which will not be in Flash. It will actually have a game engine.
Oh, so I'll need Direct 3D.
Yes.
I won't be able to run it on VirtualBox.
So, well, that's okay because it runs on Macs. So.
Yeah.
So yes, the engine is going to be rebuilt, and the creators of Binding of Isaac have said that because they're not completely in control of this one, like they are, but they would like to kind of, if you bought it for the PC, kind of here you go. But
maybe they'll have like incentives or something like that.
Well, there's going to be a ton of extra bonus stuff in the game.
Okay.
So it will cost you money again to rebuy Binding of Isaac.
But there's a lot of stuff in there already.
But they're adding co-op, and they're adding a bunch of bonus levels and other stuff, new items, new this, new that. So
probably just even it'll look different too.
Yeah. So the game is just going to get a whole lot bigger. So if you end up having to pay for it again, it's not going to be like
probably gonna be like $6 or something.
Yeah, and it's not like you're paying for the exact same game. You're essentially paying for bonus features, like extra content. But
well, the first game's totally worth however much you bought it for.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know how much I got it for, but
I think we got it for.
Someone gave me.
Graham sent it to us.
No, did Graham send it to you?
Yeah.
Someone gave it to me.
I think Graham sent it.
It was either Graham or Anthony.
And then
one of those two guys.
I think I got the DLC for like $1. Well, that's what I mean. Like
I didn't even experience the DLC.
I can't get to the DLC. You can get the new items within the other game, but that's what I mean. So this game's not going to be super expensive, but
yeah.
Yes. And then the other thing that we were going to talk about earlier.
Yes.
We played.
I'm trying to get it, but I was too amazed by the fact that I have antlers.
Yes. You got a little overexcited.
Antlers. Your argument is invalid.
World of Warcraft.
It's a huge change. It's
5.0.4, which is
a strange number for such a big change.
Well, because it was 4. I forgot what we were on.
Oh, was 5.0 part of The
5 is now Panda.
well, so pandas would have been in there since 5.
Well, 5 just came out, but it was 5.0.4.
Okay.
Because they released these in the test realms.
Okay, so 5.0.1 was like test realms.
Yeah. So
okay,
they've patched the test realm stuff, so now this is 5.0. So this is essentially 5.0.
Yeah.
Which will essentially introduce pandas into the game at some point.
Well, pandas are in the game.
September 25th, you'll be able to play one.
Yeah.
There are some that are scattered around the world.
Because those are PR people and they haven't.
Well, but then those are in the game. They're just NPCs.
Oh yeah.
So there's NPCs in like the main cities that are pandas, kind of hanging out in bars and that kind of stuff.
Hey, so you come to Pandaria soon.
Yeah. So in on September 25th, if you buy the expansion pack, you can make a panda. You can go to Pandaria. You can do all that.
You can buy all that stuff now. Just get going.
Yeah. Well, you can pre-order it.
Yeah, you buy. Well, not buy now, but like buy it now.
Yeah.
And then right when that clock hits,
you can go and that's why they released these 5.0 patches
so ahead of time.
now is because all of a sudden on that day, there's not like all they have to do is unlock character creation for pandas and the actual Pandaria. So
because all the skills, even the opening cinematic.
The opening cinematic changed. The login screen changed. Those are baby little things.
Oh, you kidding me? The
I love the new login screen.
I love the new intro.
And the intro's amazing. And it's like great. All HD and fancy.
Yeah, because they're saying that one of the biggest changes now is Retina display.
Yes.
For the MacBook Pros.
Yes.
Coming out.
So.
So that must look really pretty.
And honestly, the lighting effects have changed.
I couldn't.
You wouldn't know. I've been. See, and it's funny. I finally get back into it because I knew this patch was kind of coming, and I looked at some of the patch changes, so I knew there was bigger things coming. And all of a sudden, I booted it up the other day, and I was running around, and my little hooded gnome guy was running, and just the shadows playing off of him. I'm going. Lighting effects have gotten better. Like there's little tweaks that they've made.
Yeah.
And even the character models seem to look a little bit better. Not like. Oh.
It's kind of weird seeing like these highly detailed like antlers things on my dude, and then like my other guys just kind of play, or my other wolf dude. I don't know.
So but with that came talent changes.
Yeah.
So they took the 41-point talent trees away. You now get like 6 talents.
Yeah.
The bonus to those is, and this because people on the forums have been going crazy, complaining, as they do when every major patch comes out.
Well, wasn't this stuff in the test servers too?
It was. So, like I said, I've known all this stuff was coming. Even last week when we looked it up, when they said, 5.0 or 5.0.4 is coming.
Yeah.
Here's all the changes coming, be prepped. So I read through that whole thing and went, wow, this is going to be a lot of work. But all of a sudden all these people are on the forums going, what the talents are now, hey, you play this way, you can play this way. Because before it was just cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm.
You went online, you found the build, you did it. If you did it any other way, people hated you. I did it my own way all the time because I, don't care about the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. But this now, essentially the talent trees used to go, well, here's an extra 2% to your damage. Well, they're not doing that anymore. All of a sudden it's like, on your druid, you can have a move that is just for your cat form. You can have one that's for all of your different forms.
Yep.
Or you can have one that's... So whichever way you like to play, all of a sudden you can...
Do you think...
Pick one.
Do you think this will affect raids? Past and present, future?
And future? And I mean, people have already... I ran a dungeon last night, with my mage. I didn't go below this much mana.
Is that a good thing?
I could just keep shooting. Like, I never ran out of mana, so I don't know what was... There's stats that I think need to be tweaked, and apparently Battlegrounds right now, no one's dying. Because they've changed the amount of damage that we can actually take from other players.
Oh, that's good.
And apparently, because the healers have so much mana, if you have like 2 healers on each side, there was one fight going on the entire round in one camp that was 10 versus 10 battleground. And no, it was 15. So there was like 5 other people running, or 10 other people running around the map just grabbing the other little camps. 10 people solidly fighting in this one place. No one died.
Well, that's because they're not level 90 yet.
And see, that's everybody's like, it's balanced for level 90. And it's like, but it should be balanced for...
I'm level 17?
Yeah. Well, and we can't get to level 90. We can get to level 85. So, like, we all sit there going, well, that's stupid. But it's not balanced for 90, folks. It's just balanced for now. And honestly, I like it when I don't die in Battlegrounds, so stop complaining.
Yeah.
See, and this is the thing.
That's like the true PvPs, too.
People's old tactics don't work anymore. And they get pissy about it.
Well, it's because it's changed. They don't like change.
They don't, yes. This is honestly, I like this change more than anything. And all of a sudden, like, on your spell book, you can hit a button that says core abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells you, for your specific spec that you pick, what spells you should be using on a constant basis. So it gives you your, like, here's a mini rotation, you can add little spells to it as you want to. But these are the moves you should be using. This is what you kind of picked, this is what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the rest of the spells, play with them as you want.
That's the newest change?
So, and then now instead of talents giving you spells, like there's still some that give you spells,
mm-hmm.
but they've pretty much given you a ton of your spells now just in your spell book.
Oh, so I'll take a look. I should take a look at that.
And they've merged all of the pets for pet battles.
Oh.
So I can now access like a pet that I bought on my hunter on any of my other characters.
Oh, you couldn't do that before?
No.
Wow.
My mounts are also all account wide.
Oh, that's good.
So my gnome can now ride a cat that my, dwarf bought. So it just gives me more of a reason to actually play different races, so I can just buy their mounts instead of having to like grind for reputation to get the mounts. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
a lot of account sharing stuff.
Yes. The next thing I would really like is if we could have account mailing, because I'd like to send some of my account bound items to stuff on other, like guys on other servers. That'd be stupendous.
Baby steps.
I know, people have been asking for that one for a while though, so you think they'd be working on that one, but that's okay.
Well, I think the more people start signing up for their servers, the stuff here, the more complicated it will start getting.
Yeah, but that one, I mean, people have been asking for since they added the account-bound items. So either way, and that's just the way the mailing server works.
Okay.
Is they're like, it's kind of hard for us to send mail from like X to Y.
Yeah. Like
this server to that server, like the mail system doesn't work that way, so we'd have to retool the entire mailing system, and it's like, get on that then.
I don't know, I don't know how the specific details on that would be like though, so I'm not sure how difficult it would be for them to...
Probably quite, but...
I don't know.
Get on it, they make bajillions of dollars.
Yeah, they're busy making Panda expansions for you.
They're done the Panda expansion.
No, they're not, they're never done.
Oh, I know, they're never done, but that's a completely different team.
The mailing team?
Yeah, get the mail team working on something.
Yeah, but then like when you make a change here, it'll change something over there, which changes something over there, and that's where you get bugs.
Oh, I know, but they're actually pretty good about fixing bugs. So, also
took me how long to install the damn patch?
Yes, I know. Well, I had to delete those 2 folders. Duh. The other big change too was they took away ranged weapons, the ranged weapons slot from characters, so wouldn't affect a druid.
No. Like a hunter or something.
But a hunter no longer has a melee weapon.
Is that a good thing?
It's confused some people, because we no longer, you can shoot people like point blank now.
Oh.
Which is super. There used to be a
safe distance.
There used to be a distance you had to be to shoot people, and once you got within that range, you switched to your melee weapon, which was useless anyways because hunters don't melee. They're not supposed to. People did. They were shunned. But so now they've just essentially gone, hunters don't melee. Stop. Here is, here is a gun or a bow or a crossbow. That's what you get your slot for. Have a nice day. For me, I like it because now my gun is always on my back.
Oh, I guess
and it shows.
Because sometimes it would be your staff when you finish.
If I had my staff out, I could have my gun on my back. If my staff went away, I had my staff on my back, and my gun just disappeared into the nether.
Oh, that's so cool.
So now this time, when I run around, my gun is always strapped to my back.
So it's something
my bow is always strapped to my back.
So it's something that should have been in there since day one.
Well, the only problem is now we always used our melee slot as a stat bonus slot.
Oh.
But again, so did warriors. They'd get a gun that had, strength attached to it or something else, and throw that in their range slot, which they no longer have.
Oh.
So.
A lot of retooling.
Yes. So, and again, people just have to learn to play again.
There's probably... People will find other ways to do that stuff, though.
And they've given everybody kind of... If you're a melee class, they've given you a couple ranged moves now.
Okay.
So, like, my warrior can throw his weapon.
Okay.
He has just a regular, like, throw button, so he throws a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's... A ranged was never meant to... It was just meant to kind of pull stuff. So, like, if you saw a bunch of bad guys, you were like... We need to get them here. We don't have a ranged class with us.
Yeah, throw a dagger.
That'll attract them over. Then you can do whatever it is that you normally do. So,
yeah.
They've gotten rid of spells. And like I said, if you have any amount of characters over level 20, you have to go back and pretty much retool everything about them. I had to redo every single toolbar.
Oh. Because I noticed my toolbar was different.
Yes. Well, because they got rid of spells, they've added spells, they've changed what levels you get certain spells, which is really funny because some of my guys lost spells, which they will regain later. Like my mage has forgotten how to cast some stuff, which he'll learn how to cast in another, 3 levels again. So you're kind of like, oh.
That's convenient.
But thankfully, that core abilities page, you can kind of sit there going, oh, so this is what they want me to use now. You can pull the moves right off of the core ability page and put them into your toolbar.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much went to the core abilities page, pulled everything off there into my toolbar, then went to my spell book and went through the 3 or 4 pages of spells that all of my guys have. Like my hunter, he has every single spell except the one that you get at level 87 because he can't level past 85 at this point.
So you see the spells, but you can't get them.
I can see, it's only one spell. You get one spell at level 87. And it's called Stampede. So all of your pets that you have tamed, stampede across the screen kind of thing.
But you have a lot.
No, this is like actual hunter pets that you tame.
Oh, okay.
So I have a wolf, a monkey, a fox, and my bear. But they've added a ton more slots for stabled pets. So I'm like, oh, I guess I will be catching more pets then.
Pokemon.
Yeah. So yeah, they've but I mean hunters have always kind of been that way. So, but yeah, this is it's a big change. Lots of tweaking, and like I said, if you have more than one character, it's kind of hoi yo yo. And if you have a character that's kind of level 4-ish, I would suggest deleting them and remaking them.
Okay.
Just because they've changed the weapons you start with.
Oh.
And some of the items you start with. Just because of all the changes. For instance, hunters used to start with a bow and a spear. So now I've logged into this one hunter that I had created, and since I had created him and not started him, he started the game with a spear, which is just a polearm. It's a melee weapon.
Yeah, but you don't get a bow.
But his bow, which usually unequips into the bag, hadn't done that because it was a brand new character. So all of a sudden he just had this polearm, and I'm like, well, this is redundant. So I deleted him, remade him, and he starts with a bow.
Oh, so they didn't catch everything.
But I mean, they can't because that character essentially
existed
on their servers existed with a melee weapon in his hand and nothing else.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you no longer have to go to your trainers to learn spells.
Ooh.
As soon as you level up, you go, oh, I know how to become invisible.
Man, I feel sorry for all those trainer NPCs now.
They
Where'd
have.
they go?
They're still there, and they have a different role now to reset your talents and reset your glyphs and reset this. And they're kind of the whole if you give us bajillions of gold, you can retool all the stuff you've chosen.
That sounds kind of dumb.
And it's like, yay, thanks. So, But I mean, they've always been there for that. So now it's just, you don't learn spells.
Man, they're getting less and less of a role.
Yeah. So.
Eventually, no trainers.
Dun, dun.
Some MMOs don't even need trainers, though.
And I mean, this one, I kind of dig that you just learn the spells now, because if you're in the middle of a dungeon...
And you level up.
And you level up, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you now know this move. And I'm like, cool.
So like an RPG.
Yeah. You actually learn it on the fly kind of thing, which is nice. And then when you're going through your spell book, you can actually look and go, oh, I'm going to learn that spell.
Soon.
Yeah. The other thing was that people were complaining about, this is the last thing finally, but the spell book, with so many spells in it now, is very messy to some people.
It was congested.
Congested. To me, it's not. Everything is in alphabetical order, even if people don't like to think it is. The alphabet starts with A and ends with Z. Same thing, as always.
So how come people are complaining?
Because all of your activated spells come first. So when those hit Z, you get all your passive skills. All your passive spells.
Is there any way to filter that stuff, though?
No, there's no filtering. Which is what people are sitting there going, I wish you just filter it. But, you know, you have 5 pages of spells. You're trying to get to Frostbolt. Click the button until you see Fs. You know, it's not...
Or search bar.
There's no search bar, so... That's what people are kind of... They're like, I wish there were a search bar that would just filter out stuff. And it's like, well, that would be nice.
But now you're just thinking like Spotlight.
Yeah, which they have for your bags. Like in the game, if you click your bag, there's a little Spotlight bar.
I guess if people are saying like if they can do that.
Exactly, and yes, they can do it already. They've done it already. So why can't we do it in?
Well, I can't see that being too far away then.
No, me neither. So it's not that far away, but people are like, it's not in alphabetical order. I don't know what kind of crack people are on, but it is. Other than it splits it between spells you actually have to press a button to activate and spells that are just always on because they're passive. So people complain a lot when new patches come out, so this is just, it's regular. I was waiting.
I don't complain when patches come out.
People are rage quitting like left, right, and center.
But
they'll be back.
But the pandas.
They'll be back.
But the pandas.
They'll always be back.
I probably won't. I don't know. We'll see.
People rage quit all the time. So.
I'll see how long I can stick it out for, because there's another MMO that I'm very interested about. Came out earlier this week.
Yes.
Advanced or a head start event for on Saturday or Friday for some people. Guild Wars 2 finally came out.
Bum, bum, bum.
After like 5 years
Yep.
of saying, dude, we're making a sequel.
Yep.
And they just kept releasing expansion packs.
Yep.
So Guild Wars 2 has finally hit the streets. You can buy it. It is a big deal because it is the first competitive MMO to World of Warcraft with no service fees.
Right.
So you buy the game, that's it, go play it. Or you buy the game, 2 years, 3 years down the line, you can still play it. Your character's still there. Super popular. So popular that the buy.guildwars2.com, the digital version off of their site, they've had to discontinue that because of how popular the sales are. So, just to be clear though, if you buy a boxed copy or a digital copy from a third-party site, so not Steam, but like, I don't know, some other, whatever, like maybe GameStop.com or something like that, when they sell their digital games, if you buy it there, you're fine.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. People are making it into a big deal. So
it's essentially like when Steam runs out of codes.
Exactly. So this is just because the NCSoft guys need to see where they're standing, because a lot of people are logging in, a lot of people are signing into this game.
I always love when MMOs can't handle the amount of traffic on day one.
It's really interesting because this game has been in beta test for God knows how long.
Yep.
But the beta was so limited.
Yes.
I tried getting in like 3 or 4 times over the past year or so. But I think it's a good move just for them to, because you can still get into, you can still log in.
Yes. If
you buy the same box copy for the same price.
Yes, you just have to go to the store now and buy a copy, which means you have to leave your house.
Yes, sorry guys. No, if you go to like GameStop, I guess whoever sells it digitally.
Yeah.
I don't know who would do
it. Whoever still has codes left, kind of thing.
I don't think it's a code issue. It's just a server issue for them to see where they're at, because people are jumping servers back and forth just because they want to join their friends, stuff like that. and that's understandable.
Yeah.
Eventually, they'll turn back on the first-party digital sales.
Yeah.
But super popular with this game. I can see myself definitely playing it, just not right now. A, because of the congestion.
Yeah.
And B, because I don't want to be in the kind of an MMO in the beginning just because everyone's so confused about, man, you should totally build this character this way. No, you should totally build it that way. Like I think 6 months down the road, I think I'll pick it up and go, Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
I'm playing Guild Wars 2 now, guys. What's up? And I'll get my friends to help me out because I'm lazy.
Once they release a demo starter edition, something or other,
that will happen.
Yeah, I'll hop in because
it is
the fact that it's free to play. Like, you know, once you purchase the initial game, I do enjoy that. I just didn't enjoy once I left town, I was pretty much all by myself.
They've changed that quite some.
Yes.
They've changed that quite some. They've made it much more of an MMO, but you still have missions which are instanced. Yeah. Which is, I think that's a lot of what MMO or WoW does anyways. So, like the raids and stuff like that, aren't those instants?
Your dungeons are instants. Yeah. But the main world...
Yes, the main world is still MMO-y.
Yes, and now, that's the other thing that they added with that patch, is low populated areas. There's this weird cross-server thing that's happening, where servers actually meld together at those points, so that low population areas seem populated again.
That's weird.
It's kooky.
Because I'll see a person on the server and I won't see him ever again.
Correct. But you'll know he's from a different server. Oh. Because after his name it'll say, like, you know, Birch Tree or something like that, or whatever another server name is. So. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm Guild Wars 2, super, super excited for it, and really happy that it's so successful, because...
Can you still build broken dual classes?
Probably.
Awesome.
I don't know. They've been working on this stuff for a while, so I can imagine them thinking of all the ways you can make this game.
Well, because that is what happened after in Guild Wars 1 when I came back. Because I had built a little hunter mage person. Because I'm like, I will shoot fireballs and arrows. Once, you know. But everybody had pretty much made like a warrior monk class.
Yeah.
So it's like, I am in plate mail and can heal myself. You cannot defeat me ever. And I'm like, oh, and everybody was running around as one, and I'm like...
I know, I was the only person with like what was the mage casting spell? I know it was something really dumb. Arcane? Arcanist? No. I don't know.
But either way, I'm sitting there like, oh, so everybody plays this class. Yeah, nothing can beat this class, and it's like...
Yeah, it was a little bit lopsided, but then again, the game was a little bit old anyways.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully balance issue-wise.
Even Eye of the North was kind of backwards too.
Yeah.
Eye of the North was really difficult.
Yeah. So.
And same thing before, you can totally play the game solo if you want.
You can.
Because there's the sort of not bots, but empty party members that you can just put into your slots. So.
Your follower people.
Yeah, that's what they call them, the followers. So I know my friend is really excited to play it, and I don't know how if he's into it or not right now, because he's got computer problems. He ran out of hard drive space.
Oh, well, there's an easy fix for that.
He fixed that.
Yes. You just start deleting things.
He just put a new hard drive.
Delete the porn, and you'll be amazed on how much room you have left.
Mine's all on the internet.
So, yeah, Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, I'd be happy for it.
Selling like hotcakes.
Digitally.
Well, see, and that's the thing, like...
And it's funny, because I was in the... Yeah, like, I was in the GameStop and stuff like that, and they only had, like, 2 copies on the wall, and, like, people really bought this shit out of this game.
Well, and the fact is, because you can play it alongside actual pay-to-play MMOs.
Yeah.
Because you
there's
don't
no commitment.
To pay.
There's
so
no
yeah,
commitment.
You don't have to commit to it. It's like, you know, DC Universe. And
DC. All those other free-to-plays. But this came out of the gate free-to-play.
Free-to-play. Which is, and I mean, Guild Wars 1 came out of the gate free-to-play. That was their entire mission statement was...
No
you buy the game, and it's free-to-play.
Play whenever you can.
Yeah. So that's why it did sell so well, because everyone's like, oh, so I can play World of Warcraft and Guild Wars.
And that was the big thing, like, when people were talking about Guild Wars 2, and like, oh man, we're putting so much into this, we're making it such a better game. And then people were like, well, are you going to make it still free to play? And they're like, probably.
Yeah.
And then I'm surprised they don't really tout that anymore. Because do you think people just know Guild Wars?
I think people just know Guild Wars is free to play.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, you have... I'm not sure if people still really play EverQuest 2.
EQ2.
Yeah, but WoW is the one you pay for. Everybody else tries to come in with one of these pay systems.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work, go free to play.
Yeah.
But so many people have invested, how many years into World of Warcraft now? And as long as they keep coming out with expansions that let you keep playing...
EverQuest 2 still trumps expansions on World of Warcraft, so I think there's 4 or 5 expansions.
They've always done EverQuest always comes out.
Weirdest expansions ever.
Yeah, I'd rather people spend time on expansions and that kind of stuff. And it took World of Warcraft a while to get the first expansion out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it took us all a while to get to level 60. Now people blitz through, content. But I mean, Guild Wars was smart. They came out with a game and they're like, yeah, we know that everybody's paying for this one.
Yeah,
and no one's going to pay for another one.
I'm interested to see if there's going to be any sort of microtransactions into the game either. Post-launch. Like, pay us money for this headgear or something like that.
Maybe cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's tough to do, if you pay us...
Yeah, then you get unbalanced PvPs
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Because all of a sudden one guy's like, well,
I've got
I have
more money.
$2,000 to spend on this game.
How much do you have? $3,000 shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll probably be hats or something like that.
Hats, cosmetic stuff that goes over your stuff, dyes for your clothes.
Or maybe a dance.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But, so Guild Wars is smart doing what they did because they know people aren't going to pay $30 a month to play 2 games.
No.
You're going to pay $15 a month and play 1. Or you'll pay $60 and never have to pay again.
Yeah, so that's seriously, that's one of the biggest selling points for me.
Yes.
Is that for everyone, really, for that matter.
You can buy it.
It works.
And you can put it down.
And they've probably made more money.
Oh, yeah.
On this model, out of the gate free to play, rather than losing money in the beginning.
Like everybody else has. Yeah. That's what I mean. All
free to play.
These guys, DC Universe should have gone free to play right off the bat.
I'm really surprised it didn't.
Star Wars.
It was a Sony thing though, so.
Yeah, Star Wars: The Old Republic I think had the best bet of making money monthly.
Yeah.
The best bet. It's still
Star Wars and Star Trek both, because Star Trek Online went free to play first.
Yeah.
But that one had a lot of loyal followers.
It did.
And then.
But again, you've invested how much time into World of Warcraft, which the game still looks pretty good. It runs good. It runs everything. How many systems?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably run on my laptop.
That's what I mean. You can play this game on so many different systems versus the Star Wars game, which comes out for PC.
And that's the problem with even Final Fantasy XIV for whenever that comes out, the reboot. For that, they're saying that you're still going to need the same system specs as the first launch game. But how many people could play that?
Yeah.
Normally? My computer barely ran it fine.
That's what I mean. Blizzard has made a game that so many people can play that they played it, invested so much time in, and they go, I'm not leaving this to start something brand spanking new.
That I have to pay for.
Now all of a sudden I'm paying $30 a month to play 2 games.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Guild Wars 2.
You make a choice. So all of a sudden all these games where they're like, okay, we're dropping our subscription fee and going free to play. They're losing tons of money.
I think, I'm not sure if this has ever hit their marketing meetings or anything like that, but do you think those companies ever think of, instead of being $15 a month, go $5 a month? Ease their way into the free-to-play market rather than just, limp down the free? I think that would be a better idea.
If DCU...
because that was, I think that was the most expensive one at, $18 a month.
Yeah.
So, if that had gone down to maybe, $10 a month for a little bit, and then went down to $5, and then free, and then depending on where you were signed up, you would get different bonuses.
Yeah.
Permanently.
It's tough to even if because you can still pay monthly for all these free to play games except Guild Wars.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That's the most enticing thing about Guild Wars, and that's why I think it's
the best part about it is it looks like a high caliber, high quality MMO. It rivals Star Wars and Final Fantasy and.
Oh no, and I mean especially Guild Wars 2. You look at the screenshots from it; it's a gorgeous game.
Yeah, the art in it is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and they've done their own thing.
Yeah. NCSoft is really weird because they've also had a Aeon, which is their actually first free to play, or not free, their first pay to play MMO, and I played that for a while, and it worked okay, I guess. I mean, it had its limitations. Yeah. But all the time when I was playing it, I kept feeling like I should be playing Guild Wars instead.
Well, I mean that's the thing. Like, you sit there and people move to Star Wars, and a lot of people I know, it kind of feels like World of Warcraft. And then they went, I'm just gonna go play World of Warcraft because Blizzard's been at it longer. They know what they're doing. The bugs get fixed. This gets fixed. The end game's there. Like, there's stuff to do, or as opposed to these guys who jump into the market are all of a sudden like, what do we do? We weren't expecting people to, like, level this fast or get to this point. Or...
Yeah, because I think people, even in Guild Wars 2, someone's already hit 80, which is the top level right now.
80 there's people that do. I mean, and even Blizzard's caught off guard by it now. Yeah. They'll release the Panda expansion, and within the first day, there's going to be... Well, first
couple hours.
First couple hours, you're going to have level 90s, and they're going to be like, ugh, guys, come on. And then those level 90s are going to sit there, well, where's this? Where's that? Why aren't we getting this? Like, people just need to chillax. Like, that's the thing with these... That's the thing with MMOs, is just play them, guys. Like...
You don't... Well, some people have nothing better to do with their time.
I know. Take a walk.
No. Like, that's too much. That's too much time. Because people kept buying digital copies of Guild Wars 2. They don't want to walk.
They don't want to walk. They want a quest.
They want to right now, right then.
Well, see, that's the
thing. After a 5-hour download.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, people... And Blizzard could easily solve this by making the dungeons 8 bajillion miles long again. And then people complain. Because they're like, we have to spend 3 hours in this dungeon? So, Next.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, people complain because these dungeons take too long. I ran one last night that took, I think, an hour and a half. And one guy the entire way through, I hate this dungeon, I hate this dungeon, I hate this dungeon, I hate this dungeon.
Then leave!
And I'm like, then go away. Well, no, because then I have to requeue, and then it takes forever. And I'm like, it took me 5 minutes to get into this.
And then he goes, I want the loot.
No, and then it's like, whatever. I mean, I'm like, we're halfway through already. I might as well just stick around.
We're almost halfway through.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through. So I'm sitting there going, guys, like, if you don't like the dungeon, leave.
I don't know.
I like long dungeons. That's the point of
an MMO.
A dungeon.
An RPG.
Yeah.
For the very least. I'm interested to see how Guild Wars 2 handles the missions, because they don't have dungeons. They more have missions than anything.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that stuff works.
Yeah.
And I've been watching people try to play it on Twitch TV.
Yeah, I have to look into Guild Wars 2 some more. Can it run on a Mac?
No.
Then I'll have to go to my boot camp.
Yeah, I won't. I've been feverishly trying to get VirtualBox to play games. But I've tried almost everything, installing DirectX 6 or 9. It won't.
Just boot camp.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go back into boot camp.
More computer-y type stuff. Steam, Greenlight.
Greenlight, this is the new indie service.
Yes. It is out.
Yes, it is the service where you vote in independent games to the store. So that independent games can make money.
Yay!
I'm excited for it.
This is essentially, it's like Kickstarter, but without having to give anybody money.
Yeah. I'll give them money. I'll give the guys who did TF2 Arcade money.
But it's essentially going, oh, this game is pretty cool, vote it up, and then Steam might give them
because some
cash or distribution
a good chunk of like the 430 something games you can probably find online at the developer's website anyways.
Yeah.
But to have, like, as an indie developer, thinking from their mind, to have a game on Steam would be huge. Amazing.
Yeah.
Because not only are you making money, you have your game on Steam.
Yeah.
Then you can take advantage of Steam Play, Steam Cloud, everything.
Yeah.
So.
And again, some indie developers, like you have Notch,
yeah,
who loves Steam, just doesn't want his game on there.
Yeah. No, I don't think Minecraft's on there.
It's not. There's a certain thing with just the way that Steam works with its updates and this and that Notch does not like as a developer. But as a whole, this whole indie thing.
But he's not the developer anymore though, so.
No, but well, like, for Minecraft, like Mojang is Mojang, but
Yeah.
Mojang like won't use Steam just because they don't like its update service and they don't like that. But again, Mojang doesn't need it.
Yeah.
If you can still create an indie game that takes off,
Yeah.
like wildfire, you don't need Steam.
Like, was Torchlight on Steam?
I believe so.
Okay.
But that's what I mean.
Super Meat Boy wasn't. I don't think.
Not at
Not
first.
initially. So.
But that's what I mean. So all of a sudden, if your game is, an indie game that belongs out there, this at least gets you people going, what is this game?
Exactly.
I shall look it up.
Yeah. And you get all your friends. It's word of mouth. Voted in.
Oh yeah. And then, I mean, the way that social media takes off now.
Yeah.
Go vote for this game on the, Greenlight service.
Yeah.
Let's get it, let's get these people going.
Hey, Steam, give me a hat when I vote all the games in.
Yeah.
Or vote. Not vote all games in, just vote. Give me a hat when I have voted all 430, because I will do it.
Yeah, I'll go through them all.
This looks like Jeff. This looks like Jeff. This looks like Jeff. Oh, this is cool.
And I mean, I just find this as a more like Kickstarter to me. When I go onto that website every once in a while, just seems really disorganized.
Yeah, because there's
really
something about Kickstarter that I want. They won't let me see Kickstarters that are like 1% away from finishing.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see that. Like, I would love to
that's
see.
like you go into Kickstarter and it goes the best one this month. Well, it's already hit its goal. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like cool. That game's gonna be cool. It's gonna be nice.
Whatever
but
that
now
project,
it's coming out.
Yeah, whatever that project is done.
It's done. Stop showing it to me. I want to see a game that's still at 5% or close to its goal, so I can sit there going, they only have 30 minutes left and they need another $5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give them 10.
Yeah. Here's some money. Make your game.
Yeah. It's hard to. It's almost impossible to look for that stuff.
It is. Kickstarter's really disorganized to me. Mm-hmm. So for me, Steam doing this kind of thing, it's like, oh man, it's gonna be organized.
Yeah.
I can just
go
down
filter
and
it.
start.
You can search. Yeah. Search for specific kind of game types.
Well, that's the other thing. Kickstarter's not just games.
Yeah, games is.
It's a bunch of other stuff.
It's just things.
But you sit there thinking, okay, if I press games, I should get games. Then I should be able to press another button and go.
Well.
Time left, time this, time.
Well, now with Steam being not just about games.
Exactly, like it's apps and stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's some independent mini apps.
But that's what I mean. Like I'm excited for this Greenlight.
Greenlight servicing. Good name for it too.
Greenlight. I like it.
We give you the Greenlight. Go sell it on Steam.
Well, it'll give these people more money because I mean, Steam's pretty good about
giving money.
Like it's not like they're not like an Origin service where.
I know Valve has given out. I don't even know how much money it was, but 6 digits for people who, in total, to people who gave or made maps for TF2.
Yeah.
Because people bought the maps.
Yeah.
Or and items and stuff like that. Here's we're giving it right back to the developer.
Valve gives how much stuff away for free?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
How much sales do they have?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing.
You can have your game in the bundles.
In a bundle. But that's what I mean,
Greenlight bundle.
EA during the Steam sale this summer, they sit there and they go, those kind of sales hurt developers.
Don't.
And Steam goes, we wouldn't do it if it hurt developers. We're not jerks. If this didn't work, we wouldn't do it. And EA's just kind of like, well, it's still stupid. And it's like, that's because you're not doing it.
You're just jealous because we still have Crysis and Mass Effect 2 on our Mass Effect 1 on our system.
But yeah, EA... Origins is just EA games.
Yeah. No. They stretched out now. You can get Darksiders 2 and stuff like that in there. Modern games.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's very limited compared to what Steam
is, yeah. Well, and then they get mad because Steam does these sales and EA...
Here's the Greenlight sale. All the games you've greenlighted.
That'd be great. But I mean, EA doesn't want to lose money. That's why they're complaining. Steam goes, yeah, get this game for... $250. Well, most of that money probably goes back to the developer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then all of a sudden, I play whatever game it is. Let's say you got Sleeping Dogs for 25% off, and you go, man, this game is so wicked. You show it to a friend, they go, crud.
Yeah.
They buy it for full price. They've already said it works out. They can give Portal away for free, and people still buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I can give you a copy of Portal 2 for 75% off.
Yes, I got that coupon as well.
You got that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
We also, my friend and I got a coupon for Saints Row 3 DLC.
Oh, is that why I saw my friend playing it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can get the DLC for cheaper. I think 25% off DLC for Saints Row 3. So I have to install that on my other box, my boot camp.
You have Central Third on PC?
I do. My friend got it for me during the Steam sales.
Oh, okay.
So I gave him back that political game that we have yet to play, but they've updated again. They keep updating it.
That's okay. I have my own political game. Obama versus Rodney, or whatever his name is. Romney.
Who got Clint Eastwood to talk for him last night.
Goody, I guess.
Apparently it was quite the show.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Eastwood yelled at an empty chair.
That sounds like Clint Eastwood to me.
It was supposed to be Obama in the chair, and he was yelling at him about, how dare he give people health care and all this other stuff. But,
How much money was he paid?
I don't know, but apparently Clint Eastwood came out looking like a gigantic prick. So
he kind of is.
Everybody, but no one knew he was that Republican.
Mm. He's like Chuck Norris.
So, but that's what I mean. Like, a guy starts yelling about how we shouldn't give people health care, and it's kind of like, you kind of look like a jerk when you start saying that people should have to,
I like your movies when you don't talk.
Pay to go to the... Well, and that's one guy on Twitter goes, it's sad because there's going to be an entire generation remembering Clint Eastwood as the crazy guy who yells at, like, an empty chair as opposed to Dirty Harry and this and that. Like, they're going to remember this old senile man yelling at an empty chair. And I'm like... Yeah. Ugh. So, either way,
yes.
Free to play. More free to play stuff.
More free to play. Square Enix is feeling charitable, I guess. I don't know how to word this, but Square Enix is taking their first steps into the browser free-to-play games with two of their relatively big games, successful games, Mini Ninjas and Hitman. Not Absolution. I think the second one or third one, whichever one of the Hitman games. You'll be able to play these games as well as other Square Enix related products on a Chrome browser, but you can only play 10 minutes at a time if you watch ads. So these are ad-supported single-player games that are mandatory ads. So you watch an ad for, like, Speed Stick for 10 minutes. No, it's not 10-minute ad, but, like, you watch it for whatever.
Yeah.
You can play the game for 10 minutes.
And then you get another ad.
I think you can bank it. I think there's some sort of banking system of, like, ad to minutes played ratio.
I was just going to say because...
especially in a game like Hitman.
Yes, you're in the middle of sneaking.
You're sneaking. Your time's up.
Game pauses.
Would you like to buy some game that's not related to this game?
Yeah. No.
I want to strangle that guy over there.
I was about to, garrote that guy over there, but that's cool.
I'll just wait for 30 seconds.
That's what I mean. If there were points in the game where it was like commercial break.
No. It is. Whether I think it's before the game starts.
Okay.
You can watch them and then bank them.
Okay.
And then you can play this game.
So essentially, what people are going to do is.
I think you still need to click next on the ads and stuff.
But that's okay.
But you can't like.
Like you could go make dinner and bank a ton of hours, or bank a bunch of minutes.
It's interesting. I've never heard of this concept before.
Honestly, this concept to me is better than a lot of freemium type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh, you can play our game for 10 minutes and then you have to give us $5 for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's ad-supported single-player games. So, I don't know how I would feel about it.
I'm okay with the option.
Yes. Depending on what games they also get in the service, too.
Yes.
Because Mini Ninjas is cutesy and unique, but kind of a bland game.
Yeah, but watch an ad for a car, play it for 10 minutes, go...
Maybe I'll buy it.
Or maybe I'll buy the whole thing so I don't have to watch these stupid ads.
Yeah, maybe and this is still in the browser.
Right.
So, browser-based games, especially for Hitman, which is a little bit more intensive.
Yeah. I will try Hitman in my browser.
We'll see how this works.
After I watch an ad for Ford.
I don't know, I guess.
Like...
Here's an ad for Papa John's.
But it's almost like a trial version of a game.
But you still get to play the full game.
But you can play the full game if you really, really want to. And then if you want to play without ads, you pay whatever the full price is for the game.
Yeah, because I don't even know what the Square Enix store is for digital games now. But they only have the one on there, so...
Yeah. But, hey, you know, I can go out and buy...
It's unique.
Yeah, but I am intrigued by the concept.
Yeah, and if you really, really are into the game, you just watch like a bunch of ads and you just kind of play for whatever, and then watch a couple ads, and then play for another.
let's say you're gonna play for an hour.
Yeah, so that's like about
6 minutes worth of ads if they're a minute long each.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't.
I have no idea how long these ads are gonna be though. So.
That's what I mean. Like if they're gonna make the ads 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then. But if the ads are 30-second, 1 minute ads, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's even better.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. These aren't. I don't think these are going to be infomercials or anything like that. So.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of sit there going, okay, I like ads enough that I like a 30-second, 1 minute ad, and they don't think they can expect anybody to watch anything more than that.
Yeah.
Because I mean everybody's attention spans these days are so broken.
I get angry at YouTube ads.
That's what I mean. Like. So. There's YouTube ads, there's some websites where the ads you can't even skip after 5 seconds, so you're stuck there for 30 seconds going... Yeah.
Or like, you go to the web page and then like the giant splash comes up and you can't, you're like looking for the close button because there's always an option, but it's like this big.
Yeah, or it pops up inside the ads, like it's like... And you're like, X, where's the X, where's the X, where's the X, and it's like... And then the cloud starts opening up, and then like, something starts happening over here, and then finally like the little circle with the X appears before, like, just as the ad's appearing at the same time, and you're like, no!
The ones I hate are the ones where they do the whole full screen, but you can still see the background, and then you click the link, hopefully you can go through it, but it's still the ad, and then I hate that. Yeah. So, watch your ads.
Watch the ads, play some games.
Yeah. That sounds about right, I guess. It's different. It's really different.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't know.
What? Are you going to look for any Square Enix games?
I will go...
These are IDOS games, too.
I will have a peek.
So maybe like Tomb Raider or something like that.
I'll have a peek. I'm not completely opposed
to... I'm not sure when they're rolling this out or if it's already out somewhere. You can probably just take a look somewhere. We'll
hit Chrome and see what happens.
Yeah. Probably have to go to the special browser or something like that.
Yeah. Shall we go to the bottom one?
Yes.
You want to talk about this lovely man?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's not really... It's special stories.
Yes.
So...
It's not failing, it's not winning, it's just...
Unique. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So, about 7-8 years ago, this guy at an internet cafe in Japan apparently got really fed up with a particular game that everyone else around him was playing at the time. It was some sort of Japanese dance battle thing. Anyways, the game required the use of the spacebar for timing or whatever have you in the game. But he got really fed up with it. So, instead of complaining, he stole the spacebar keys off of all the keyboards in the internet cafe.
It sounds reasonable.
Yes, I would. It sounds like that. I would do something like that as well.
Yeah.
So, he's been sitting on these spacebar keys for 7 years. And out of the blue, he wants to start a normal life. He returns the spacebar to the this internet cafe, and then the cafe guys were like, "Oh, we thought this was just vandalism." Thanks, I guess. But so have you ever gotten so angry that you just want to steal the space bars off of keyboards?
Always, constantly.
Okay. I'm doing that right now.
But I am always missing like a screwdriver or something to pop them off with. So
my keyboard is a chocolate keyboard, so you can't take my space bar key.
That like
How would it be to like walk in that one cafe that morning after, just be like, what the hell?
Who keeps them? Throw them out.
No, he held on to them. And
8
he returned
years
them.
And you're holding on to these like
space bars.
Holy vendetta.
He wanted a space.
Yeah, apparently.
He got really angry.
I just like how he wants to kind of get on with his life, so he's getting rid of this. Like they've been holding him back.
Like he's getting married. He wants to, he's had this, I guess, unclear conscience of spacebar theft.
I wouldn't even think about it ever again in my life. Like,
how do you even start thinking about stealing space bars?
Well, yeah, I mean that's another thing. That this guy's obviously so.
Well, he's getting married, so someone's with him.
Yeah, you must. Well, maybe he found someone. Maybe she stole a bunch of escape keys.
She's trying to escape something?
I guess so.
I don't know. Are we trying to metaphor this?
No,
it was an ultimatum. She saw the space bars in his closet.
Yeah.
What are you doing with space bars?
Oh, I stole those 8 years ago.
What?
Yeah. Return them now, or we're not getting married. But what? So.
Have you ever gotten so mad that you just want to steal space bars?
Always. Right now.
Yeah.
TV, movie news?
Bing.
Woo.
So, one of the big things that came out of the Metal Gear 25th anniversary event was that Hideo Kojima has personally confirmed that the Metal Gear movie is still being created. Himself. So, he and I will never be able to pronounce this guy.
Avi Arad.
Avi Arad. This is the guy that he's been known to back video game movies. I think he was
and most superhero movies.
Comic book movies.
Yeah.
So, he's done Spider-Man. I think he was involved in the Silent Hill movie. His name rings a bell, I think.
He's essentially a dude with a lot of money.
Yeah.
That just likes...
Yeah, and he knows what... And you know what? All the power to him, because he's
made money.
He has said that video games are this generation's comics. I think that statement is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with his producing powers, or whatever movie producers do, other than throw money at a movie.
That's what they do.
With him and Hideo Kojima's support, I think we'll finally see this movie see the light of day eventually, like really soon. I mean, if Hideo Kojima is, hell-bent on getting this movie done,
in all honesty,
he could probably do it.
This movie would benefit from just doing a CG movie.
You think so?
Well, that's all he does anyways with the games. So
yeah, but if you just get David Hayter as Snake, boom, movie done.
Yeah.
Because A, dude looks like him, and B, he is Snake.
Yeah.
So.
Like that, yeah, yeah. It's hard to say whether, because both ways would work. You could do a live action, which would be kind of...
I think, I'll show you the Metal Gear Philanthropy movie.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid Philanthropy movie. It's a fan-based movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie that came out in 2001. Well, okay. I don't know when they started making this film, but from day one, their kind of aspect was, this is a fan-made movie, non-for-profit.
Yeah.
Download it here. Just watch this. So, this movie was in development. I think it finally came out in 2005 or something like that. But it has since gained so much popularity that they are trying to... Because it ended at a cliffhanger, like most Metal Gears do.
Yeah.
But it ended on a cliffhanger. They have plans for part 2 and part 3 of this movie. It's like 45 minutes long, too.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a short 10-minute clip. But Hideo Kojima himself has expressed interest in Metal Gear Philanthropy. So, if maybe they can work together and get this movie going, because it took them so long for part 1. Maybe they can actually do a movie, because it's actually really, really well done for a fan-made movie. So I'll show you some trailers of it.
You have to get the cheese going on.
Oh, it is cheesy.
But that's what I mean. That's why I think a live action might throw people off a bit. Just because of all the cheese.
You need to be a super fan to respect.
Exactly.
There's a dude hiding in a box right over there.
Yeah, you have to embrace the cheese.
There's an orange box, and you can see snakes hiding in it.
So that's what I mean. If they did a CG version, because they make gorgeous movies.
Yes.
They already do it. They have most of the assets already.
They have the assets. They have the camera skills.
Yeah. They have the 3D animation skills. So just pull a Final Fantasy and do.
Oh, but I hated Advent Children. I don't even know why I bought it.
Everybody did, and no one's watched it since they bought it. So, but I think that could be a really good CG, and it could be a really good live action movie. It's just that if they do live action, people are going to go in expecting an action flick, which they'll get. But there will just be really quirky,
really Hideo Kojima-esque moments where it's like there's this guy and he's running around with his hands cupped around his balls.
Yeah. and the bad guys are all a little
extravagant
out there, and you're gonna have to pretty much. You know what? If you got Sean Gunn to direct, like the guy who did Super,
yeah,
you could make this movie, because he'd be wild enough to sit there and go, I'm not afraid to put like Psycho Mantis into a game, or
here's
here's Vamp who can.
Here's a dude that lives in another dude's arm.
Yeah, like he won't be afraid to do that kind of thing, which is why, like, you need a director who's really not going to be like, oh, so the guy's psychic.
Or what they could do. Now this is just kind of out there. Phoenix Wright movie. Do that.
Yeah.
Because the Phoenix Wright movie is, from what I've heard, 1-to-1 to the video games.
Yeah.
So do what the Japanese are doing, and plus that movie took how long to make?
Yeah.
Like half a year.
Yeah.
Tops. So those guys know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think Aviator
Ad.
I don't think he would mind.
No. So.
And then just voice it over in Japanese with David Hayter.
Oh, dear.
Terrible lip syncing.
Yep. Yeah.
Lip syncing's really good, but I'm happy that Hideo has come out saying that he really wants this movie going.
Yep.
And has teamed up with Avi Arad to do it.
Well, they've teamed up with a guy with a lot of money, so.
And the guy with crazy ideas and a lot of money.
Yep.
Kind of.
Now you just need a director who's okay with spending lots of money and going with kooky ideas.
So. Who would be the dream director?
It's hard to, like, you honestly just have to find someone who's willing to go off the wall.
Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
Zack Snyder would do a good job, actually.
So.
Actually, I would. Oh man, the thought of like a Watchmen-esque movie, but with Metal Gear.
And lots of cheese.
Yes. I mean, Watchmen was cheese. Well, then again, the comics were cheese anyways, but he did a good job.
You just need someone who's going to embrace the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So. And last up, we talked about Joss Whedon last week, or the week before, with a TV project.
Yes.
It has now been announced ABC has purchased the pilot for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, this is the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. And I think the biggest wow factor for me is that not only is it a S.H.I.E.L.D. movie, but it connects to the movies.
Yes, so it's a TV show that's going to connect to the films.
So whether or not they're going to be sharing actors, like, Sam Jackson's going to be on there, or if it's probably going to be a Maria Hill.
It could be.
Because Kobe Summers is more welcome. She's more into the TV show stuff than she is in the movies. You
know what'd be great, and who's been a TV actor, and who's really good with TV, is the guy that plays Agent Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
Joss Whedon. Jerk. That's what I mean.
This will probably take place before if they're going to use Agent Coulson.
And I was going to say, you know what, honestly, with either Agent Coulson's not dead, and this is how we find out, or it's based before
it'll probably
the Avengers. But
it's too soon to. I think it'll be just for the main population. It'll have to take place after.
Yes.
Just to avoid confusion and stuff like that. So, and they'll probably have Coulson do like a cameo because of the flashback or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be a cool way to get him back, though. Is all of a sudden
he's in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though.
I thought you died.
And no, he's a villain.
No, they won't turn him into a villain. In my mind, I like.
They're turning Bucky.
Bucky's always been a villain, though.
I thought he was like good
later on.
Yeah.
But Winter Soldier's a bad guy, and that's Bucky.
Yeah, I know.
It's always been that way. But that's what I mean. Like Agent Coulson's this brand new character and he'd be great on TV.
He was on the comics like briefly, I think, and then they just kind of fleshed him out like Happy Hogan.
Yeah. But that's I don't know. I'd like Agent Coulson to be on TV because I like that actor, and he's done work on TV, and he's a good actor. So like him and Colby Summers would have been awesome in a show together.
What you're gonna probably now, this is just me predicting it, and a lot of what I predict apparently happens. So you're probably gonna see the arc where Nick Fury disappears.
Oh, okay.
And then Maria Hill will be acting director. And then it'll be her in front of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the TV show, and then leads into the movie. It's
up to, and it could just be like or special missions that it could be like an X-Files type thing.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden
Yeah, but it depends on what you want to how much money you want to spend, right?
Oh yes.
Because you want to keep it in line with
Yeah.
movies, and the movies are kind of big budget. So who do you want? Do you want super small cases? But I don't think Shield does super small cases anymore.
They would, because they handle strategic, whatever, Homeland,
Security,
something or other.
defense,
Yeah.
word.
That's what I mean. Like, I think they handle a lot of different stuff. And I mean, look at the Agent Coulson shorts.
Yeah, but those were just more entertainment than anything.
I know, but like
and
you could.
have they said if this is going to be a serious show or not, or if it's going to be more comedy?
I don't know.
Because
It's Joss Whedon's writing it, so it's going to be everything.
it's going to be all over the place.
Like it's going to have comedy. It's going to have drama. It's going to have
Someone dying.
yeah. Okay. Colby Summers is going to die at the end of the first season.
No, first episode. Crap. You just rewrote Marvel history.
You can't kill Maria Hill. But yeah, it would be cool. Like I think
You think
Colby
so?
Summers and Agent Coulson would be really good together.
He would be.
And even if they did like a Shield case files, something like, stuff that happened, and then they just dated it at the beginning of every episode, like case file 55111.
5 months before the Chitauri incident or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, and they just kept doing that, so it showed like Agent Coulson and Colby Summers going off on these little side mission type things.
Mm-hmm. And then once in a while you have like Jeremy Renner in there or Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like that could be kind of.
I don't think Samuel L. Jackson would be on it, just because he is a higher name. He won't. And
you don't want to pay him to do every.
And it would make sense if they want to, put Maria Hill as acting director, just kind of have Nick Fury run away for a little bit.
Yeah, but I think if she's acting director, she doesn't get to do as much on the field kind of thing.
She does. She still does stuff.
She would, but I think if you even just had.
It could be like a whole half a season of her like looking for Nick Fury.
And yeah, they could do something like that. Nick Fury disappears. She goes out looking.
Yeah.
But I honestly think I want Agent Coulson on this show.
You won't, but I don't know if they.
I'm not sure if they will, but honestly, he'd provide, because he does in the movie. He provides that humor, seriousness.
He's the.
Because he can be that uber awesome agent, and then he has that one line, and you just go.
You sure it's not a problem? They're vintage.
Yeah, and you just sit there going, oh. So either I'd like it to be before the Avengers, or
leading into the Avengers 2.
Or but bring him back as not dead.
I don't think they can do that because it wasn't Joss's idea to kill him off. So
I know, but
if it was Joss's idea, he could do anything. But Kevin wants him gone.
Well,
wanted him gone.
Bring him back for the TV show.
I think you'll see him in flashbacks. He probably won't be alive.
Poopy. Unless, of course, you do a retro show.
Yeah.
How they got into S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, before S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. That's what I mean, like, there's so many possibilities.
Yeah,
but either way, ABC has ordered the pilot.
So that's cool.
And...
Does ABC have Arrow too? Or no, that's CW.
That's CW.
Okay,
ABC is owned by Disney.
Okay.
So it makes sense that
they own it.
Yeah.
They don't even need to buy it.
They don't
even need to buy it.
Yeah,
Disney is just going like...
Well, they just ordered the pilot, essentially. So they said, Joss Whedon.
Internal memo.
Yeah, Joss Whedon, you're making another TV show. And this time...
You're working for Disney anyways.
Yeah, this time we're not canceling it. Like, right off the bat.
Well, ABC would be good for him anyways. So.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good change for Joss, just because he's gonna have a network that actually supports him.
Because he's writing it, his brother's writing it, and Mo Tano...
Trachtenberg or whatever.
Trachtenberger?
I don't know what
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, the people who penned
Dr. Horrible
essentially are... It's gonna be Team Joss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your other bonuses, and this is, I'm just saying, there's another show on ABC called Castle, starring Nathan Fillion.
You just want that to happen.
Well, but they could bring him in, because networks don't like sharing actors.
Mm-hmm.
They had that problem when Neil Patrick Harris went to Glee.
Oh.
For that one episode, there was some mean things being said. So all of a sudden you have, but now all of a sudden, like, an actor who has worked with Joss a ton is on the same network as him again.
He's probably like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you're just kind of like, there's exciting things that could be happening. And I mean, I
don't think that's a highly unlikely, but it's more probable than ever then.
Castle goes into these big things where when they released the comic books in real life, because they released Derek Storm comics by Richard Castle. In real life, Marvel produced them.
Mm-hmm.
So on the show, he went, "Guess who's getting a Marvel comic book?" And you go,
I want one.
oh. But they make references like that, so even if they don't appear on each other's shows type thing,
So
there's going to be something on Castle that goes, "Can you believe that there's this new show called S.H.I.E.L.D. out? Oh my god, it is so amazing, and this crazy director, Joss Whedon, is involved."
I know the guy. No, they don't even have to say Joss Whedon. I know the guy who's directing it.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like that, I know
The
Castle is gonna throw something.
It'll be a weird meta reference.
And if they can,
Because Castle every second episode references Firefly.
Oh yeah, like I mean they reference the writers of Castle are just so in tune with nerd culture, because they're like, oh, nerd people get this, and people who watch the show won't kind of get the quip, but that doesn't matter because it still fits. Like they'll just sit there going, "Oh, Castle's just being Castle," but all the fan people of whatever he's referencing go, like like at one point, Nathan Fillion references Ryan Reynolds, and they work together on Two Guys, a Girl in the Pizza Place. So he says something about Ryan Reynolds, and he's a nice guy, something like that, and you just kind of go,
Meta. That's so meta.
Yeah. So I can see there being something on Castle just about S.H.I.E.L.D.
Or just even Marvel-y something.
Yeah,
something
and
Marvel.
then
I know the guy who did that.
Yeah, and then even some crossover commercials.
They're not. They won't shy away from that.
Because they did that even with there was Nathan Fillion and Robert Downey Jr. doing
Iron Man thing.
something for the Avengers when it was coming out, like Castle and Iron. It's I play a writer who's like really rich, and it's like, yeah, I play a rich guy too. It's like, yeah, well, I get to run around with cops. Yeah, I get a robotic suit. So that I can see a lot of that happening. It just kind of excites me that.
Well, it's good that the takeaway here, Joss Whedon, not in Fox.
Yes, on a network that actually cares about people.
Yes, not. Hey, we're gonna cancel every other show.
Well, and if you look at the success of the Avengers, just think about it on TV.
Yeah, and I'm just interested to see what kind of budget they're going to give them for the show.
Could be interesting.
Just because they want to come out of the gate, they want to knock down the gate, pretty much. But
I mean, if it's just S.H.I.E.L.D. and it doesn't really involve super heroes.
No, I can't see it. I can see maybe once a season they'll bring on a big name guy like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, during your sweeps week and all that stuff, where they want to boost ratings and stuff. Yes. So.
Yeah, here's the Iron Man flying in the background as they're doing this thing, or Iron Man's leaving the scene or something like that.
Yeah.
You guys can handle this? I hate that guy. Yeah.
Such a jackass. So. Yes. Site news.
Moving on with internet. We use the internet here.
Sunday, BioShock song.
BioShock song. Did you listen to it?
No.
It's cute. I enjoy it. It's funny.
I'm not a.
I'm a BioShock fan.
Yes.
And there's a bitter taste in my mouth from BioShock 2. So glad this song it's like an old time song that they kind of crafted for BioShock 1.
How nice of them.
So it cleansed my palate from 2 and got me ready for and excited for BioShock Infinite, which will never come out.
Which will never come out.
So go listen to it. It's catchy. I think you can buy it on iTunes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Monday.
Console. Pick one. You only get one choice.
This one.
I meant the big consoles. The big boys.
This has got Persona 4.
The big boys.
This has got Persona 4.
PS3, Xbox 360, or Wii.
This can play PlayStation 3 games. I don't care. I mean, I like them all.
I don't care either, but
I love all.
If I had to pick one, one guy on the website, PS3. The Xbox One on Facebook.
Yeah.
2 whole votes. So.
PlayStation 3.
So. There you go. Wednesday, when I see someone jogging down the street, I drive by really slow and blast Eye of the Tiger. I'd like to do that. Apparently that one didn't shows. So either way, the update humor, all that stuff. The newscast went up a little late due to technical difficulties.
Internet. I blame the internet.
I always blame the internet. Actually, I usually blame Google, but and Friday.
Love Actually.
Good movie.
It's the Expendables of chick flicks.
Yes. Oh yeah, the ghost egg.
Ghost egg. It's not even Halloween yet.
No.
Yet. Stupid dollar store.
Candy's out.
Yeah, dollar store candies. Yeah, Love Actually. We've talked about it before.
Yes.
Chick flick for guys, I guess. I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
I
enjoy romantic comedies.
I like romantic comedies too, but people always scoff at me when I say, "Dude, you guys should watch Love Actually."
Oh no.
And then people are like, "That's a chick flick."
That is one of the. It is.
It was a quintessential chick flick for dudes.
Yes, a dude can totally watch Love Actually.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
You have Liam Neeson being a wingman.
Yeah.
If I had Liam Neeson as a wingman, how many girls would I get?
None, because he'd steal them all.
Yeah, that's true. He'll just take them all. Oh. Hugh Jackman's in it. Not Hugh Jackman. Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant is in it. Hugh Jackman. That would have been funny in this movie.
He would have been good. He could have worked.
Yeah, he's got fake Australian accent. How much could it be for a British accent?
It's not fake Australian. He is Australian.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was American.
No.
Because I watched Australia. I'm like, huh.
That's his fake American accent.
Oh.
Bub. He's just a really good actor. Stars.
And Alan Rickman. Oh, I forgot about him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman being Alan Rickman.
Bill Nighy.
And Rowan Atkinson for a little bit.
Emma Thompson, who I've always liked Emma Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Keira Knightley's in it.
And Andrew Lincoln before he became popular with Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Because I was watching this movie, I'm like, I recognize him from somewhere. Oh right, he's not covered in blood.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that.
Martin Freeman.
Yep.
Like it is literally Expendables for chick flicks.
Yep. They just throw in as many, but I mean these people make. I forgot how many movies they've made now. They've made a few of them, like the director and the writer, of these kind of like, oh, we're gonna cross over all these different movies.
Bridget Jones' Diary. There's one more they did. That was a chick flick that I know for sure.
Bridget Jones. He's done the Mr. Bean movies.
Yeah, that's the one. Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Yeah. So. He's done stuff.
He's gone around. About time.
See, here's another chick flick with Bill Nighy and Rachel McAdams and a whole cast of people again. Not as big, but
not as I don't recognize Bill Nighy.
Because there's another couple movies like this that they keep producing, but this one's the British kind of version. So.
And another Liam Neeson movie where he doesn't play a badass.
Thank God, because holy jeez, typecasting Batman.
Haha. Did you see the internet meme of like Obi-Wan Kenobi trains Padawan becomes asthmatic and evil. Oh, and then Batman Begins trains young whatever becomes asthmatic and evil Bane.
So. Galaxy S3, the most amazing iPhone yet.
I'm surprised they didn't try and sanction the S3.
Yeah.
Everything but the S3. Your one main competition for your next iPhone.
So, Love Actually, watch it.
Go watch it. It's cute. It's funny. I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I've watched it. I've watched that one a couple times.
It's something you can leave on. I think the biggest not learning curve, but the biggest curve about it is the fact that there's like 10 different stories and you kind of have to keep track of it.
Yes, and they've tried doing it in the States. There was that New Year's Eve movie with Ashton Kutcher and like Julia Roberts and Lea Michele and a bunch of other like. They try and get a bunch of big names and then it's like we're gonna tell little baby stories.
It gets too crowded sometimes.
Yeah.
So I found myself not really caring about some of the side stories.
No, but
and
say I think that's why the movie I find does so well is because you invest in certain characters.
Yes.
And then other ones you're like, meh. But then to someone else, they're meh about one of the ones one of the relationships that you're kind of like, ah. But they're really excited about one of the ones that you're like, meh.
Yeah, so it's an experience that everyone else can experience.
That's what I mean. Like, everybody can watch that movie and come out going,
oh, do you remember the time when this? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I like this. And it's like, those two. It's essentially one of those things where you watch a TV show. It's the Twilight effect, but for adults. Where instead of picking between two boys that she should be having sex with, you're just going, this relationship was better than this relationship. Like, it's not like she should have slept with this guy or blah, blah, blah.
At the end of the day, they're all the same.
You're sitting there going like, oh man, I really like that thing between, A and B as opposed to C and D, and this person goes, no, C and D's relationship, way better than A and B.
Yeah.
And then you start fisticuffing, because obviously that's...
It's like in Expendables.
Yes, that's how this breaks down. Is
fisticuffs.
Yeah, I like Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, well, Bill Nighy's relationship was better.
That's the weirdest fucking relationship.
So...
I love Bill Nighy to death. He's an amazing actor.
This was kind of like young people effing, but
higher
class.
I remember that movie. Yeah, way classier.
Yeah.
And not always about the sex.
No, it wasn't about sex. It was about relationships.
Yes.
And actually love.
Ironically.
Yes. So either way.
That's it for now.
Yes.
Next week is okay, I guess.
Yes.
Schooling.
We'll figure it out.
What is your classes like on Friday?
I'm done at 4 something, I think.
Oh, I'm done.
But I have a big space in between, so.
I have a big space in between too.
So we can always film in between.
Or after, because I end right after them too.
Okay.
Or then too.
So.
I end at 3:05 or something.
So either way, folks, we're back at school next week, so things might start getting a little
slower, faster,
shorter. Yeah, we might be done a little bit faster. So.
Writing might not be so solid.
Yeah, dates at times might move around a little. A review might come out at like 11:59. Next week should be okay, but going into it, be warned. Barrel Roll News will be.
You might not be affected as much as me though. Remember, one English class.
Yes.
I have a classics class, which is still writing, but it's more mythology.
So.
Which is kind of fun.
So the website is like it usually is during school, and this year I'm thinking we should take off a couple weeks during midterms and finals.
Did we last time?
No, but we everything was really late last time.
Yeah, I
so
know that.
We should just kind of
we'll see.
Have a break this time, just so we don't. People know it's coming, and it's not just.
We'll just have like a stay tuned or something.
Yeah, the website will just come up going like, we'll be back after these short messages.
We'll record that.
Repeat. Just loop it.
Yeah. Aw, we don't want to be annoying.
No, but either way, school starts again for us next week, so newscasts will probably be shorter because of other commitments that might be happening, whatever, that kind of stuff, so.
I don't even know what's going on with the hockey team.
Exactly. So fine-tuning will have to happen, but you'll be with us for the ride.
Stay tuned for more messages. Yay. Good evening.